Good morning and welcome to the Summer 1 session here at Bergen Community College, Summer 1 2021. I'm Mike Eccles. I'm going to be your professor for the next 6 weeks, and it's going to be a journey. It's something now I think I've started to get down pat. Luckily, I've not gotten used to it because I cannot wait to get back into the classroom full time. But until we do, we're going to continue doing this asynchronous thing, at least for the next 6 weeks with us here in Com-100-006. Now, you did receive your course outline, you've got your assignments, and you've got the schedule. Now, we're going to stick to the schedule as close as possible. We may shift some things around, but otherwise, we pretty much will stay with it. The class, the way it's set up, this is a great course. I started teaching this course in 1997. And basically what it is, it's kind of like a combination of different type of communication. You have your public speaking, which, yes, you will deliver speeches in front of your classroom, your classmates. Well, at least virtually if you can. You will also go ahead and do a group paper. We do it interpersonal. And we even take an exam on communication theory. On the first 6 chapters. So it's kind of like a combination of, gives you a more well-rounded communication education than just, say, our Com-102, which is just strictly public speaking. And so if you have any questions after you've looked over it, go ahead and ask. One of the things I do want to get down is class participation. Now, typically in the classroom, that has to do with attendance, getting your assignments in on time, whether you're actually participating in discussions. But now here, because we're asynchronous, I have 10 assignments that'll each be graded out 15 points each for a total of 150 points that you can earn, as you can tell at the bottom of page 1 of your course outline, for class participation. It's like the most points you can gather in this course. For example, your first assignment that I've given you already, the informal speech, that will be worth up to 15 points. Okay, so as those assignments come along, and I'll tell you this will be a 15-point assignment, that's a 15-point assignment, and so on. And that'll be separate from like the main assignments, which, like, for example, an informative speech or a persuasive speech or the group paper. Those are major assignments. But you'll have 10 of these 15-point assignments. And they have to be in on time. Okay? I am not an online professor, even though this is now my first, second, third, fourth, fifth. This is my 6th semester teaching asynchronous, but it's not my thing. So this isn't one of those things where you hang out for 3 weeks, do nothing, and then start throwing your assignments in every day. Oh, I got 3 assignments I just did, Eccles. No. For example, your informal speech, a 1.5 to 2 minute speech based on what would have been one of your answers to the interview exercise. And I've got several of them down there. If you want to talk about your favorite vacation, or you want to talk about your favorite place to live, or why this is what you chose as your major, whichever one you've chosen, you're going to spend about 90 seconds to 2 minutes. Your informal speech is due by 8 p.m. tonight. Okay? And I do strongly recommend, remember, number 6, my 6th consecutive asynchronous semester, my strongest recommendation is you open up a free YouTube account. That's what's worked best. That's what's really been effective. I can't tell you how many times people say, oh, I'll put it in my Google Drive and I'll send it to you, and of course I can't open it. All right? Yet, if you download it or you upload it into your free YouTube account, you just send me the link, I open it up, no problem. Okay? So, that's tonight by 8 p.m. your informal speech is due. Now, just a little bit about that assignment before we move on. And I don't spend, when I send these videos, I'm not, oh, I got an eyebrow up here. Jeez. And I still don't understand how my eyebrows are so black and my hair is so gray. Anyway. I just lost my train of thought. Oh, my goodness. Oh, when you're doing your informal speech, and this is going to especially go for the formal speeches, just like you see me now, I want you standing. Now, here's the reason why, is that we're still practicing speeches for both virtual, but also if you're going to be speaking in front of an audience, okay? And that's going to happen, all right? That is definitely going to happen. A lot of you may think that once you take a speech class, this is the last time you'll give a speech the rest of your life. Well, Don't even think that way. Because I've been on Facebook now since 2007, 2008, and some other, social media sites. And of course, I have a lot of former students who are now Facebook friends or on Instagram and stuff. And I can't tell you how many of them who were 18, 19, 20 years old are now 31, 32, 33 years old. And all of a sudden, they're going to school board meetings and having to speak up, or they're going to town council meetings, or they're giving a presentation for their company out at a convention or something like that. So you have to practice the speech as if you were giving both. So you're going to be standing, and I want you standing for all of your speeches. All right? And just make sure that you're talking directly into your recording device. Now, this is not an easy thing. And this is pretty new for a lot of asynchronous, but one of the things that we'll be talking about a lot during the semester, this eyebrow, is the idea that, honestly, I think this is going to be the wave of the future. I think too many companies have realized that, I'm going to tell you right now, people, when I talk to people who either run businesses or run offices, the one expense they can't stand is leasing office space. Well, COVID has shown them, thanks to the World Wide Web, is that they don't have to lease that office space anymore, or at least they don't have to spend as much. As some people are now only barely, even though we're pretty much almost, I hope that light's not too bright. The towel just fell off my door. We're, to the point where, COVID's almost done and people have been going back to work, but sometimes they're only going in like once a week because they don't have to. Because they just spent the last 15 months working from home, and things have gone pretty well, for a lot of people. Now, I'm not talking about, like, say, the wait staff at a bar or something like that. We know you guys have unfortunately been hurting really bad. But a lot of people in professional capacities, professional positions, where you're going to be when you get your associates or your bachelor's or even higher, have been able to do their work effectively virally. Okay, so I do think this is the wave of the future, but still, we have to practice for both. So when you do your informal speech, I do want you standing in front of your recording device. So now that's due at 8 o'clock tonight. Let me tell you a little bit about myself so you know who you're dealing with between now and June 24th, which is the end of the semester. My name is Mike Eccles, and come September, I begin my 23rd year here at Bergen Community College. And it's been quite a trip. I mean, I've had a great time here. I love being here. Now, starting since January 1st, I've been the chair of the communication department. And it's been quite interesting being becoming chair of the department in the middle of COVID. But this is a great place for me because, unlike some of my colleagues who come from a different part of the state, or even come from another state, I am a Bergen County guy. I'm a very loud, proud graduate of the Lyndhurst High School class of '83, go Golden Bears. As a matter of fact, one of the best things about teaching at Bergen is I think I've now had 6 or 7 students who were the children of people I graduated with. Never mind other students who were people I went to high school with. And of course, where you go to high school, where you live, you may live. I just had a student whose mother I went to high school with. He went to Woodridge High School. I've had Beckton, Ridgewood, North Arlington. A lot of these high schools where some of my classmates have moved on to when they moved out of Lyndhurst, and their kids have come here to Bergen. I've had them as students. It's probably one of the best things that really helps this job. Especially, I think one of the first times I had a student whose mom and dad I graduated high school with, and actually I used to hang out with her dad, is she gets up to do her informal speech, first day of class, and she looks exactly like her mother. And I thought I was back in 1983 again at high school. So yes, I'm a Bergen County guy, and that means that you guys are not just your students, you're my neighbors. Okay? So I want to make sure that you do well. So if you have any questions, and again, if you have questions about assignments, yes, but if you have a question like, Eccles, I missed last class, what I missed? Well, in an asynchronous class, you got my videos, you got my emails. One more thing, and I want to stress this again. I talked about this last week. I don't do Moodle. I've never needed Moodle. I've never had a desire for Moodle. I know it works well for some people. Not exactly the best thing for me, but I do like the email. And again, this is my 6th consecutive asynchronous, going all the way back to when halfway through spring 2020, we went on spring break and they told us don't come back. So we had spring, summer 1 last year, summer 2 last year, the fall, the spring, and now summer 1 this year. So the Gmail has worked very well. And I've had a lot of students do very well in this class. All right? So start working on your informal speeches. They are due by 8 p.m. tonight. And we will send you out a video again tomorrow.